result in my death.
No.
Let's just throw something into this. I mean, at least 7 centimeters go right in. I was not the first to send him in like 2 weeks or so.
I beat it.
Oh, GG, that's
Yeah,
good.
thanks. No, that was
What
really consistent. I had 3 second-half attempts, 2 deaths at 62, that was it. Okay, first victor. I'm like, be shocked if anyone in the comments has 100% and also didn't hack. Oh, there's a. Oh, wait, that's never mind. That's a separate upload. A ULDM. I was gonna say they added a ULDM update and I didn't update the level, but no, it's a separate level. 782 attempts. Yeah, this is just like super learny. It's really not hard once you get it down. I don't know. Oh, I gave it a like. I mean, I guess I'll give it a like because it's like actually like pretty cool for a layout level. Like, if when watching this level, I was like, oh wow, that's actually like pretty sick, right? Like, it totally deserves a feature despite the simplicity, just because like the movements are extremely well executed. The issue with that is lag. This level lags like a bitch because of the high amount of moving objects overall. And I will say, like, I don't really have many issues as far as like bugs are concerned. I didn't find any like bugs that weren't like something that happened like once and I never saw it again, so I can maybe chalk it up to just me making an error that I didn't realize. And I mean, it's well polished. It's just not a gameplay style I inherently enjoy. Like, there's very heavy Marwak inspiration, which you can very clearly see through the structuring, the way the duels are built, like just the way the click patterns are done, especially like the cube in the robot in the 60s. Like, that's so Marwak, it's insane. And I just don't like Marwak's hard gameplay. Just like point blank, I don't like his hard stuff, with like the exception of Layak, and that's pretty much it. So if you're when it comes to a point where it's really similar in game, it's just not a gameplay style I inherently enjoy. Although, again, it is well polished, but there's definitely parts I didn't like. Like the aforementioned cube at like 60, 70. That took so long to learn, and learning that part was so frustrating. Because there's a bunch of fake orbs, but the level also has an effect where there's a bunch of spikes that don't disappear until you're literally on top of them. And when you have to navigate a bunch of fake orbs, it makes learning that part really hard. I actually looked at a video to figure out what I was doing there because it was just not clicking together. Also, in the second robot of that section, the first click there is ridiculous. Click off of the block is stupid because if you try to click on the block, by the time your input actually registers, you are off the block because you're actually on the block for a very small amount of time. You pretty much have to click in the space where you're falling, just to essentially buffer that robot jump instead of clicking off the ground like a robot jump. And I found that really annoying, especially because that didn't sync. Clicking in the empty space did not sync. I also ran into like sync issues with for whatever reason. The last ball, it like synced in my first practice run, and then for every subsequent practice run until the last one, the ball section that right after that part, it just didn't sync in the slightest. It was weird because like by the time I was playing from zero, like it actually did sync. I don't even know what the hell happened. Maybe it just had to do with specific checkpoints, but it was weird. First half, I think that I'm not the biggest fan of how the first click of the drop is dependent on how you hit the orbs, the times the orbs. It just feels before it just feels kind of weird. I really don't like the blue orbs in the saws that you're forced to buffer in the auto sections in this level. I just think those are just kind of annoying in general, especially when you have a bunch of fake orbs that make it so that you just can't just like buffer it whenever, which is like the best way to do those. Yeah, I mean, there are parts that I did like enjoy, like this the set of 4 measures that with the waves. I thought that was fairly enjoyable gameplay, as well as like the very vertical UFO. I thought that was actually like pretty fun to execute, although the first click is definitely a bit of a tough timing. And I think that the ball right before like ball at like 50, like there's a blue orb that's kind of an annoying timing. Pre-drop is fine. Last part, I mean, it desynced when the part before it desynced, but when it's like fine. Yeah, like it's hard to point out like flaws with the gameplay that aren't just I don't like this base gameplay to begin with. And yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend this level, despite not really having a bad time with it. It's just not something I would inherently enjoy, and that's fine. Not every level is going to be like that, and most layout style gameplay, I don't get it. It's weird that the levels that are specifically focused on the gameplay just consistently have gameplay in a style that I don't like, but just whatever. I think I'm about done talking to this. Another first victor on an insane demon is chill, though. This is definitely ideal, where they don't exactly know where, need to figure that out. It's definitely a weird dynamic between it's so many more attempts were spent learning than actually like beating, but yeah. GG's though.